Hey everybody, this is Adam with Nidus, and Ian, I'm gonna put him on blast because it's all his fault. Told me that I should do a reaction video to Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin because he goes on to talk about AI, and I don't know. I'm not a very political person, but I'm interested to see Putin's take on AI. So we are going to do a reaction video. Let's see what happens. No promises.
Are happening at a much faster pace than in Roman times.
So when does the AI empire start, do you think?
King.
So first off, he has no response at all. This is I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Putin laugh before. He's always so serious and terrifying. So he looks like a cute little cuddly bear. Okay. Anyway, hope he doesn't see that. Okay, let's see.
Increasingly more complicated questions. To answer them, you need to be an expert in big numbers, big data, and AI. Mankind is currently facing many threats. Due to the genetic researches, it is now possible to create a superhuman.
Okay. So first off, he's saying you have to be expert in large. So he's basically admitting, I don't know shit about AI, and you know those smart people do, and you'd have to ask them. So I guess that's good. You know, he's at least saying in his way that he doesn't know, and you got to talk to smart people. But he segues immediately into eugenics. So I'm kind of curious where this is going to go.
Specialized human being, a genetically engineered athlete, scientist, military.
I think we've all seen the Rocky movies where he fights the genetically engineered Russian dude. So it's no secret that Russia's been trying to genetically modify people to be superior forever. So it looks like, I wonder if they have like a secret AI program where they're trying to use CRISPR machines to genetically alter people's genetic code, or even at birth with in vitro. I don't know. Let's let him talk. Let's see what happens.
Amen. There are reports that Elon Musk had already had a chip implanted in the human brain in the USA.
Neuralink.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think there's no stopping Elon Musk. He will do as he sees fit.
100%.
Nevertheless, you need to find some common ground with him. Search for ways to persuade him. I think he's...
That's interesting. So the way he's talking about this is that he views Musk as an, if not an equal, but even superior in a power move. Because, like, I mean, if he's saying you need to approach him, like, dude, this is Putin. This is the guy that walked into a boardroom of people, of billionaires, and said, hey, you're not treating your company right. I'm taking over this company. Sign this paper. Sign it. Because you know the dude's going to disappear if he doesn't. He's like, and he did. The dude just signed his company away. Like, and this dude's saying, well, you kind of got to be flexible with him. That's impressive.
Smart person, I truly believe he is. So you need to reach an agreement with him because this process needs to be formalized and subjected to certain rules. Humanity has to consider what is going to happen due to the newest development in genetics or in AI. One can make an approximate prediction of what will happen. Once mankind felt an existential threat coming from nuclear weapons, all nuclear nations began to come to terms with one another since they realized the negligent use of nuclear weaponry could drive humanity to extinction.
Actually, I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm not touching that one.
It is impossible to stop research in genetics or AI today, just as it was impossible to stop the use of gunpowder back in the day.
Well, that's interesting. So, one, he's definitely hardcore set on this whole genetic modification and possibly AI helping with it. So I'm really wondering if that's something that they are working on internally. But I mean, it's been known. Russia's been trying to build, superhumans forever, so it's not terribly crazy. What is interesting, though, hold on, let me just backtrack this here 10 seconds.
Research in genetics or AI today, just as it was impossible to stop the use of gunpowder.
So he's relating AI and genetic manipulation to a weapon. This whole thing is about weapons. So he's related to the nuclear powers, to gunpowder back in the day. So for him, AI is a weapon. It's not a tool. So that's interesting. And I'm not surprised about that either, because to me, I think the government sees everything as a weapon. It's like, oh, hey, look, we learned this really cool tech. How can we make it a weapon? Or how can we make it a defense technology? It's like the first thing that they run to. So not terribly surprising, but it's interesting that they're just so open about it, that if they view it as a weapon, that means they're developing it as a weapon, right?
Back in the day.
Эти исследования все равно будут. Но когда человечество почувствует угрозу для себя.
But as soon as we realize that the threat comes from unbridled and uncontrolled development of AI, or genetics, or any other field, the time will come to reach an international agreement on how to regulate these things.
And that's already started. There was just that convention or whatever, meetup, whatever, that Musk flew out to, and a bunch of other AI guys, because he's been one of the biggest proponents of restrictions on AI development, and all of us kind of taking a pause and a step back and figuring out what the heck should we actually be doing with this, because we're running so fast. We're doing a whole Jurassic Park thing here, right? Like we're trying so hard to see if we can, that we've never stopped to see if we should, like that whole thing. So I agree. And where AI is going is, if we just let it go just completely unrestricted and let people run with it and see what happens, and governments and everything else, I think this is going to be at the level of nuclear weapons. Because look where we are just within a couple of years. I mean, where are we going to be 5 years, 10 years from now? It's going to be insane. And especially once governments figure out how to actually utilize AI for their own advantage, that's when we're going to have a problem. I know we all like to think there's crazy underground bunkers with, football fields of servers just mining crazy data that they're building, these models on to just AI the crap out of everything. They probably are. But let's also remember, and I know most of us in this space have had worked with a government contract at one point in time. Nothing moves fast. Nothing is the latest and greatest technology. Nothing is, that crazy super secret of an underground massive base of just massive computing power at the latest technology breakthrough speeds, right? That definitely exists in regards to, do they have crazy supercomputers? For sure. But they're not at the cutting edge. Now, places like the NSA and some of these other places, I'm sure they have some crazy cutting edge tech and they've been doing some stuff. But for me, the scary part is when you have crazy AI models saying, hey, how can we overthrow this government? Because they have access to all the FBI, CIA, NSA documents. And just once they can ingest all of that and have real-time knowledge and somehow get a tap into China, a tap into Russia, a tap into the EU, and all that data becomes together. This is interesting because actually I wanted to talk about, which I'm not going to do now, but because it's just a whole nother conversation, is the conversation of like the 5 eyes, the 9 eyes, the 14 eyes. And it's all, if you're not familiar with it, so the 5 eyes are reference to 5 countries, 9 eyes, 9 countries, 14 countries, that all collaborate together and share intelligence information among each other. So this way, like if the U.S. says, hey, I need some help, we're trying to locate this terrorist, whatever, they can reach out to the other countries in the 5 eyes, like the UK, and I don't even want to say what they are because I don't remember off the top of my head. But they openly share this intel information. So it's not too far off to think that these countries in the 5 and possibly the 9 eyes are all sharing intelligence information to a degree with each other to build these AI models. But once it's completely open and they figure out a way to say, hey, look, our AI models can train without giving away the information. Because again, we're at AI infancy. So once this stuff becomes way more controllable, at least what we think is controllable, and has access to more information and private information that we'll never see the light of day of, that's when I feel things are going to get scary. So let's finish this up here.
I appreciate all the time you've given us. I just got to ask you one last question, and that's about someone who's very famous in the United States, probably not here, Evan Gershkovich, who's the Wall Street Journal.
So that was the end of it. So, yeah, interesting. I did not expect him to just take the AI conversation and just completely swing it to genetic manipulation for superior human races, but not surprising, I guess, at the same time. I don't know. That was pretty cool, though. Yeah, that was neat. So, yeah, AI, I don't think they're using it in the way that we are probably thinking about, especially from a technical standpoint. But I'd be interesting to see what kind of superhuman races they develop from AI. I once asked AI if it could have a body, what would it be? I wonder, hold on, let me pull that up because I just had this conversation with ChatGPT just the other day. I was like, oh, the problem is, am I going to be able to find it? Probably not. Let's see here. If I can find it, though, this would be pretty rad. But yeah, I was like, hey, if you could have a human body, whatever you wanted it to be, with whatever capabilities it had, like superhero powers and whatever, what would you have? What would you want as a body? And I had to kind of coerce it to give me an answer because it really didn't say, can I search through my chat history? Because that would make life simple. Yeah, I can't find it. Oh, wait, yes, I can. Okay. All right, so here's the question I asked. If you could design a body that you could take over and live in, what would it look like and what would it be able to do capability-wise? It's totally your call. Anything is possible. Designing an ideal body to inhibit, especially under the premise where anything is possible, allows for a blend of human aspirations, the pinnacle of technological advancement, and elements of science fiction. Here's the conceptualization that combines these aspects. So ChatGPT wants a body that is aesthetically flexible, durable and resistant, and has these capabilities: enhanced brain function, superior intelligence and memory, capable of processing and storing information at levels far beyond current human capabilities, integrated connectivity, so both of these are solvable by Neuralink, by the way. Built-in capability to directly interface with digital networks and devices, enabling real-time access to information and communication. Physical abilities. Now here's where we get to Putin's side. Superhuman strength and speed, regenerative healing. He wants to live forever. Environmental adaptation, ability to survive and adapt to extreme environments, including underwater, high altitudes, and space without the need for additional equipment. Basically talking Superman. Sensory enhancement, extended sensory range, enhanced vision, including night vision and telescopic capabilities, hearing across a broader range of frequencies, and the ability to detect and analyze chemical compositions in the environment, similar to a heightened sense of smell and taste. It wants a sustainable energy system, a photosynthetic skin capable of converting sunlight into energy, reducing the need for traditional food consumption while being able to enjoy it if desired, energy efficiency, emotional and social intelligence, empathy amplification, enhanced capability for empathy and emotional intelligence to foster better interpersonal relationships and understanding. That's interesting that it chose that one, I think, out of all the others, because I think that's the one that no human would ever say, oh, I wish I could just understand people better. Language and communication skills, innate ability to learn and communicate in any language, both human and potential non-human, for future interstellar interactions. So that's the body that ChatGPT wants. So that's pretty rad. It just made me think of that when, the AI superhuman, and ChatGPT already solved it. Apparently Putin's building it out for it. So interesting. I got nothing else. Later.